Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about why I do not remarket Rolex sport model watches. Okay, I know what you're saying. Rolex is probably the most popular watch brand in the world, and I agree 100% with you. But the reason I'm not trying to sell Rolex sport model watches is because there's too much demand and not enough supply. So what happens when there's a lot of demand and not enough supply? Well, I'll tell you what happens. Prices go up on pre-owned and brand new Rolex sport models. Well, it makes sense. Rolex is very, very smart. Now, Rolex, from my understanding, is owned by a foundation. They're not a normal company that has shareholders and investors. So that gives Rolex the luxury to be able to set their pricing on the number of watches that they want to sell for the year, and then that's it. They send those watches out to their authorized dealers across the world, and when those watches are sold, that's it, they're done. So each one of those ADs will get a couple of these sport model watches monthly. Each one of these authorized dealers has a list of customers who want to purchase Rolex stainless steel sport watches. So when those few watches come in, unless you're a very, very good customer of that authorized dealer, guess what? You're not going to get that phone call. And how does that affect the online retail of Rolex sport model watches? Let's take the new Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi that's just been released. I believe the retail on that watch out of a regular authorized dealer is about 10 grand. It may be a little bit under 10 grand. Guess how much they're going for online right now? Brand new, box and papers. 17, 18 grand. And that's the problem. Even with the pre-owned Rolex sport watches, you have the same problem. Too much demand, not enough supply. So it drives the prices up on these pre-owned watches. You take a Rolex Submariner no date 2 years ago. You could buy that watch pre-owned for $5,500 box and papers. Today, that same Rolex Submariner no date is trading anywhere from $7 grand to $7,800 online. So for a guy like me who's looking to buy quality watches at a deep discount and then be able to take that watch and remarket it online and have a profit margin for myself, I can't do it with Rolex because of the lack of supply. Instead, I chose to focus on brands such as Panerai, Omega, Breitling, Tag Heuer. Again, these are companies that they seek to maximize profit every year. So they're going to push out as many units as they feel is necessary in order to hit their financial projections for that year. How do I go about acquiring the watches that I do market online? Well, I have touched on this in a prior video, but I simply go out online and I just search for the particular model that I'm looking for. So for instance, if I'm looking for a Breitling Super Ocean, then I'm going to go into all the online venues, Amazon, eBay, the watch forums, the online retailers such as Chrono 24, places like that. And then I'm just going to continue to look until I find the right deal. Now, what I will tell you about Omega, Panerai, Breitling, Tag Heuer, you can buy these watches at a deep, deep discount. So when they originally put a new model out, they're going to be asking for full retail. But since they flood the market with so many of those watches, you have an oversupply, lack of demand. So therefore, after they initially put them out in the market, they're quickly discounted in order for authorized dealers to be able to sell them and move that inventory to bring in new inventory. So guys like me can go in to an authorized dealer or an online retailer of that particular brand of watch and say, hey, I'll buy 3 or 4 from you, but I need this type of discount in order to make it happen. And 9 out of 10 times, that retailer, whether it be authorized dealer, walk into a brick and mortar authorized dealer, or you go onto an online retailer, you can negotiate with these guys. Now, I'm going to take you guys through a case study next week. It's going to be a Breitling Chronomat 41 millimeter. I'm going to purchase this watch this week from a retailer, actually a brick and mortar retailer here in the town I live in. And then I'm going to walk you guys through the steps of how I purchased it, how I put it online and market it, and then ultimately when it sells, I'll share with you the profit margin attached to that watch. The reason I bring this information to you guys is, I'm a huge car guy. And in order for me to be able to really experience and go out and buy cars and justify it, I had to figure out a way to create additional cash. And this luxury watch sales was one of those avenues. So I want to take you guys through exactly how to do that. And that's why these luxury watch sales EPs I'm going to be putting out every week is so that you guys can, one, know how I did it, and then two, if you decided something that you want to do, you at least got some good information from a regular guy who had to figure out a way to make additional money. I'm not one of these guys that deal through wholesalers, or I got this big old watch business that I'm, and I got all this inventory. No, I'm just a normal guy like you, sitting on the couch, looking at YouTube videos, looking at these really nice cars, and thought to myself, dang, I'd love to be able to afford one of those one day. How can I make that happen? And at the time, I was a watch collector, and I just took that hobby and turned it into cash. I taught myself everything I know about luxury watch sales. No one taught me, but I was able to go online and get the information. And I'm just trying to collapse time frames for you guys and provide you that information so you can skip some of those processes that I had to go to and get straight to it. Now again, you don't have to go out and buy a $4,000 watch and then remarket it. You don't have to do that. You can take whatever your budget allows you to spend. If it's $50, $100, $250, whatever that budget is, there's a watch out there that's being sold at a discount that you can buy and then turn around, put it online, remarket it, and make profit. No matter what economic level you're in right now, you can do that. So don't be discouraged because I'm talking about a little bit more expensive watches, and then when I go to the case study in EP3, I'll be talking about a fairly expensive watch. Don't be deterred saying, hey, I don't have that kind of cash to invest. No, you don't need that kind of cash. What you need is knowledge. And then you take that knowledge, which I'm trying to give you through these videos, you take that knowledge and then you apply that knowledge to whatever your financial position is and whatever watch you can afford, because it can work at any price point on watches. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching the video. Again, if it was helpful content, give me a thumbs up. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, and please share the video. There may be other friends of yours or people that you know that are looking for a way to make additional income, and maybe luxury watch sales may be the vehicle for them, it may not, but at least share the video and let them make that decision. All right, guys, I will see you guys in on the next video, which is luxury watch sales episode 3, which will be covering a case study from start to finish of me purchasing a watch and then prepping the watch to put online and remarket it, and then at the end tell you what the profit margin was on that watch and how well I did. All right, stay in peace, guys.